What's up, everybody? It's Harrison from Sterling Chiropractic Center, and on today's segment, Dennis with Doc, where we talk about core strength. So, Doc, what are some key workouts to get a stronger core?
Well, let's talk first about the importance of core. Now, tell me, what is the core?
Stomach region, your abdominal area.
Right. So when we're talking about our core, we're actually looking at the entire midsection, okay? Because most people think of core, they think of six-pack abs, right? Now, do you have six-pack abs?
No.
It's something that I've always struggled with as well. Because six-pack abs come with from the kitchen, not necessarily from the gym. But when we're working on core aspects, the purpose behind a strong core is actually to work as a corset around the spine. So we're talking about rectus abdominis, transverse, and internal and external obliques. We're also looking at some of the core musculature in the back, paraspinals, quadratus lumborum, and those kind of things.
So, what are some workouts you
Well,
can do to get a stronger core?
it can be something as simple as just things that you can do in your car, things you can do at school, things that you can do just anywhere. And then there's other things that are a little bit more, more focused towards the gym environment and those kind of things. So, are you ready to demonstrate?
Sure.
You ready to work on a little bit of core today?
Yeah.
All right. Even though we have these wonderful donuts in front of us, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, the first thing we're going to do is when we were kids, all of us used to run around the playground and say, hey, hit me in the stomach as hard as you can. Well, that same kind of thing, if I were to do that just like that, you've tightened up, and that is what's called bracing. And bracing actually activates all of the musculature in the core. So when I come in here, tighten it up, good. Now, I want you to start singing Row, Row, Row Your Boat.
Row.
You can say it louder so that everybody can hear
I
you.
can remember the song.
All right, say your ABCs.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z.
Okay, so the importance of that is that I want everybody to understand is that while you're tightening up that core and while you're creating that tightness, you have to be able to breathe with it. A lot of people just get in there and they go, and they bear down. Well, you're going to blow out a no rating.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that. You want to be able to carry on a conversation and tighten those up.
What are some essential things you can do without even weight?
Okay, let's do this. So why don't you pop on up here? Why don't you lay on your right side? Face this way. You can lay on your left side. That's perfect. So what we're going to initially do is what's called a side plank.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're going to do is we're going to actually have our feet onto the ground or onto a flat surface. Then what we're going to do is actually lift up into a plank position. So go ahead. And we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds or so. Notice that Harrison's in a straight line. He's basically almost in a perpendicular plane next to the floor. And as you can see, he's kind of struggling a little bit. This is one of those things that not many people can accomplish. Okay, go ahead and drop down. Now, I want to also demonstrate a front plank. So you can either do this by a sphinx when you go onto your elbows. So go ahead and go on up. Notice how he's got his back also still flat. He's still on his toes. He's looking straight ahead with a neutral spine. Or you can go into a full plank, which is up in kind of a push-up position. So as you can see, his back is straight, his arms, head's in neutral position, and you want to hold each one of these positions for about 30 to 45 seconds. Now, you may have to work up to 30, 45 seconds, but as you can see, we've probably gone for about 15, 20 seconds. Not bad for him. All right. Now, one last thing. I want you to go ahead and go back on your stomach for me, Harrison. Now, these last two things are actually going to start working on some of the strengthening of the low back. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is what's called Superman. And what you're going to do is you're literally going to lift up both your legs and your arms in that kind of a position. And you're going to hold that, neutral head, not too much, there you go. And then we're going to hold that. This is going to activate these paraspinals and the quadratus lumborum. The second one we can do is what's called Rocket Man. So you're going to take these hands behind you and you're going to fly just like your Rocket Man. And this is going to do the exact same thing. So both of these exercises really trying to strengthen on the lumbars, the quadratus lumborum, and also even some of the paraspinals going into the thoracic cage. All right.
So, how many times a day, or how many sets of average person do, or does it just depend on them?
You know, a lot of it just depends. I mean, obviously, if you're new to this, this is not something that we're going to really push hard. Meaning that 5 sets of a minute or whatever. I think if you're initially starting out, you're looking at something along the lines of about 3 sets of 20 to 25 seconds. And I want you to do that every day, plus the bracing as well. So all of these core exercises that we've done, about 3 sets of 25 seconds a day. Then once you get into like the second or third week, or you start realizing that, you know what, I'm not getting the activation in that core like I used to, then start bumping it up and start working towards a higher time. The goal really is to get up to about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in each position. With the bracing, like we talked about before, like I said, you don't even need a gym or quiet spot or anything like that. You can do that while you're driving your car. You can do that while you're at work, or at school, or whatever. But any kind of activation, this is the bottom line, any kind of activation that we have is better than probably what you're getting right now, because guess what? Probably not getting it.
Yeah.
So anything we can do to work onto it. And this is something that I've found in my practice all the time. About 95% of all my patients could use some core strengthening exercises.
So core strength, does it help with the rest of your body, or?
Fantastic question. You have to remember is that the core is actually the anchor for both the upper and lower extremities. Not to mention the fact that once you have a strong core, it helps to solidify and stabilize that low back, so that low back issues are a thing of the past. Even things that travel up into the middle of the back, they're a thing of the past. So by initiating a strong core, you're having a whole body homeostasis going on.
Great stuff, Doc. Catch us next week with Donuts with Doc.